Sports. On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be quarterbacked, of course, by a two-time Super Bowl champion in his 18th NFL season. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. DK Metcalf, 82 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft, now in year number 2, Joe Burrow.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Third and 2, now Burrow. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. The numbers on the receiving end for Boyd last time out. 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. On third down, Burrow. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. David Collins in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as he's got this at the 55-yard line.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I tell you from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
And to put a bow on it, next-gen stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Brandon Wilson to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Bengals drive about to get going. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Now Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because
This has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Mixon with a first down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. McPherson's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down now, Swift. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Roethlisberger. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. 2nd and 7. From the 38, Roethlisberger. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the handoff, this is Swift. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Running is Swift.
And he stopped immediately there.
And a tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
On 2nd and 7,
Burrow. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Morgan. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
On first down, Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They will throw on first down with Burrow.
That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come back and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
The first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Stanley Morgan, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
Bengals 10.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Ben's throw caught here by Metcalf. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The NFC's Pro Bowl punter a year ago, Jack Fox, on to punt for the Lions, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taking it about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete here.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
43 yards on the ground for him so far. Well, I've heard you say that so much of being a great inside linebacker is diagnosis. And that time he diagnosed things instantly, made a beeline for the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Now Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite work it in. And now it's 4th down.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
Here's Jack Fox now,
as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll make this an 8-point game. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start with the oldest rivalry, Chicago playing host to Green Bay in the NFC North. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, excellent in the victory as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary as both of these 2 teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Burrow. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Julian Okwara. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And the pressure gets to him again. Tack McKinley. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Ben going to give it to Williams. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Given 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Here comes the Lions punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati set to take over once again. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play develop, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
I think the defense has to feel really good about what's going on here. They've hit him, harassed him, sacked him a bunch of times, and now he's starting to get a little jittery in the pocket. Feet are starting to move around a little bit. Sometimes they start to feel ghosts. People aren't even there.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here come the Lions now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. Gets this up across the 20 to the 21 or 22. Did show some power on that run, breaking the tackle. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now Roethlisberger on first down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now a carry for Swift.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger.
He'll get this off to Swift.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd and 7. Burrow.
Slant pass to Boyd.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And down he'll go at the 25. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this is going to be incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Lions to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger.
He'll find Swift out of the backfield.
So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now at Ford Field. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow.
He'll air this one out for Boyd.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense set to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run here with Swift.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? The ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff to Mixon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A gain of 5. First down, Cincinnati.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Morgan. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 37.
Now it's Burrow. And that falls to the ground. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Burrow getting this into the hands of Higgins.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Joe Mixon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
2nd and 10.
Here's a give to Mixon. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the markers. He'll stop it well short of the yellow line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. So a chance to give his guys a second-half lead there, but it goes by the wayside.
And, Brandon, that's the worst sound in the world for an NFL kicker. Gong!
That was good. Do that again.
Gong!
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also...
Here's Burrow. Complete to Boyd. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He's going to let it fly.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play.
I'm ready for more. You fired up, I'm fired up. Don't run from rap. 1, 2, 3. Hey. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. Game time. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. I just got 20, I'm running on empty. There's more where that came from, my money is silly. I feel like envy, not trying to be friendly. It is what it is, if you want me, come get me. Whenever you ready, no, I keep it steady. Yeah, I get the W, throw the confetti. Please do not tempt me, don't hold it against me. We about that action, don't ever forget it. Squad of gorillas, the army, the navy. When I call a play, I'ma score like I'm Brady. The title is mine, if you want it, come take it. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. I'm ready for more. Whole squad in the field, yeah, we tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. If you looking for me, you know where to find me. I leave you dusted, I leave you behind me. I flip the switch from 0 to 90. If you do too much, I'ma do the almighty. You know I got it, you know I'm a legend. You know I'm the one, I do not come in second. Please do not tempt me, don't hold it against me. We about that action, don't ever forget it. Squad of gorillas, the army, the navy. When I call a play, I'ma score like I'm Brady. The title is mine, if you want it, come take it. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. I'm ready for more. Tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war.
For Week 7 in the NFL, EA Sports brings you a matchup in its 84th year. It's the Lions on the road against the series-leading Rams, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams.